Hello dear friends, beautiful kind hearts. Thank you for being here. And now I'm going to talk about a little bit of what's been going on for me to get to this point. A little bit like I did a few videos ago about the whales. So something that's simultaneously been happening is this real connection with the stones, and I've done a few videos about them, about inner earth, the shining ones. I've been doing a few of, not just a few, but I've been on the courses with Zahara Celestial. I really recommend listening to her transmissions and YouTube and whatnot, because it's really parallel with what's been going on for me anyway, personally. So if this is resonating, then what she speaks of will definitely resonate as well. Yes, so feeling very connected and feeling like I'm on this path of understanding the depths of who we are, and this like ancient wisdom of what has been kind of blocked out from a human's memory of or history. It just feels weird saying history because it doesn't, I don't know how to put it, but things just don't cross over and match up when we look at like what history is and then like what we perceive through our own experiences through like meditation and whatnot. So basically, without all the stalling and going into space, I was guided the other week, which some of you would have watched me singing in the Stone Circle, which is in West Malling. I felt really guided there, and what's really funny is that the couple of days before that I tried to go and I used my sat nav to take me there, and I couldn't get there, and it was saying the road was blocked, and then it was just taking me around all these loops, and this took me to this weird place I'd never been before. I thought, why is it doing this? Like I should know how to get here, but I just can't. So I thought, okay, it's not today, I'm just going to go home. So I went home, I left it, and then I come back around. I was going up to West Malling anyway, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to go, but I'm not going to put my sat nav on. I know the way. I just had this inner like, you know the way, let's go. I went without a sat nav, right? And I get lost like literally everywhere, and just literally down the road, if I put the sat nav on to go somewhere, I somehow would get lost. And it's maybe because I'm taking away from my own intuition of where things are, and we're following these other navigation devices, and that's what I'm coming into this way and this perspective, because I found my way there. I just literally turn up and I was like, well, I've just drove myself to this sacred site. That's mad. It's like, and this is where we go into like the fact that the earth is magnetic, we are magnetic. These sacred sites hold magnetic resonance specifically. That's how they hold that sacred space, is because of the magnetic field that is resonating, and where it correlates with the field of the earth and the sun and everything and in the planets. They're all constructed very carefully on the earth, and I'm sure a lot of you will know this anyway. And so I go there, I spend that time. I just was free with it. I'm not trying to be like some amazing singer or anything. I'm just expressing through my soul and through my heart, in liberation. So there's no judgment upon me. I don't feel into the judgment of what others feel. It's liberation, and that's the most potent thing you can do in your expression, is just feel liberated and free. So I went through all that. That was beautiful, and sailing on by, I was like, okay, let's go now. I felt that, experienced that. Lots of information was coming through about the whole magnetic field, and that part that I play as well with going to these things, what that does, all that was coming through. And I was getting visions about all the holes that you see in the stones, and how that also, there's like, it's almost like laser beams, and then there's like this energy and geometry that is like created like that. And anyway, so then my friend Amber calls me, and she called me at 20:20, right? So 20 past 8. I was like, oh, I'm gonna answer this. And she's like, oh, I've been watching Gaia TV. She just trialed it out. She doesn't even have Gaia TV, but she knows I have it. And she said, you should watch this program. It's all about sacred stones and portals and the magnetic field and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, she doesn't even know what I've just gone through, like the day before. And I actually thought of her weird, just spontaneously when I was walking down there. I was thinking, I must speak to her. I haven't had a conversation in a while. I haven't even watched Gaia TV in ages. I've just kind of cut off from kind of learning other information and trying to just kind of hold space for what kind of comes through naturally. However, I was like, okay, this is a message. So I felt Gaia. I watched the Portals program on Gaia, and I was just like, oh my god, this is just clarifying absolutely everything that I have, received from going to this stone circle. My friend, who doesn't even know the experiences that I'm having, has just come in and given me this information. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I just love explaining these things to people, because it's sort of how synchronistic things can be. And when you're in flow and you're just going with your intuition, it's very natural, and it just really unfolds, and there's not like a stress or a strain on stuff. And there's no like immediate, you have to know this, you've got to do this. Like just being present with yourself, you'll fall into these things. Like it really just has been, that's the way it's been lately. It's really been just flowing and flowing, and this information is coming in as and when is needed, and I'm just accepting it. There's no like I don't know, I'm not forcing anything. So yes, that was so important to understand about the magnetic field. And we understand about the magnetic field of trees and all beings and all things, and when we are actually in tune with our own magnetic field and then what other magnetic resonance are doing with ourselves, we're able to clear and remove and put in, and vice versa. And then he starts speaking about the, what are they? The crop circles. So these crop circles, like he was explaining about how they have all these different healing properties, and that they're light code. Like basically, he was saying they were light codes. Maybe he didn't use that word, but he'd made all these cards with the light codes. And then I was like, oh my god, I recognize all of these symbols, and I never really got it. I've looked at crop circles, and I totally feel, for that, there's never a doubt in my mind about that. But I know that our codes that we draw are portals and that kind of thing, but it just really dropped into me how potent they are. Because he's like, this is why these sacred places are so important, because they're portals for codes. These codes bring this, da 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 da. So he did use the word codes, and I was thinking, wow, so but why has this shifted? Why are we not seeing sacred sites anymore? Yes, there has been like a lower drop in our density, but how about also the fact that because we are moving up into a higher state of resonance, we're also able to understand ourselves as portals and work as a portal. We're creating the portal, so without even having to create for them to beam down that portal onto the onto the crop circle, into that crop, or wherever that might be, creating these stones in these specific shapes. You know, we have that ability with the crystals, that we can create that these geometries that we make with our crystals create portals, but also, you know, the drawings that we create, they are portals. So as you can see behind me, I've like stuck up a few. This is like really sacred wisdom. Here is something very much linked to the inner earth and the she, which I've shown before, but I'm bringing it back because I'm listening to guidance, and guidance is telling me, pop this little one here, please. So I'm like, okay, this is what it needs to be here again. We need to go through this again. We need to go through this portal again, you know. We're going through to retrieve that wisdom within, okay? When we connect, it's like it reconnects us up to that. And, you know, this holds the resonance of a magnetic field, a Pacific magnetic field that we can become attuned to. So I spoke with my friend Nicola on our little chat thing. So if you want to watch that, you can look on the chat playlist where I chat with people. And I was explaining the analogy that I've been given about the guitar. And you've got your guitar, you've got all your strings, but to play and fine tune, you know, you need to tune it up so it plays right. Maybe you need to replace a string, but eventually you'll always have that guitar. That's the guitar, and you just need to tune it in. So did you see that? So here we have this beautiful portal. So I guide you. So all this that I'm rambling on now is to speak to you about the fact that create your own portal to where you need to go to find your own inner wisdom, to activate within yourself. So it's all cool, I can do these and you can gaze into them and you can work through them, because I always speak a lot about not just closing your eyes, but actually gazing into these places, gazing into these codes, you know, actually looking with these eyes, because, you know, and it's not just, they're not just seeing also what we see around here, even though we do associate our pineal gland as being the seer. There is something about these eyes too, you know, they translate, there is a translation that goes on. So, you know, take the time to go into sacred space, draw something. If you want to set an intention to where you want to go, what you might want to do, set that intention and take yourself somewhere. If there's something that you need to retrieve in yourself, if there's maybe something you need to heal, shadow work, whatever it is, draw your code, set the intention, hold space for yourself to bring through the code. You can do it. You have the ability. It's all within you. You can do this. And I want everyone to realize this. Whoever's resonates with and they're ready for it, I'm telling you, you are ready to do this yourself. So get that pen, get that paper, get creative, bring that code through, create that portal for yourself to retrieve the information that you need to know. So that's just where I'm at. I just wanted to explain that all and explain that how you can kind of do that as well. So that's an activity for you to, a bit of homework, to kind of just, yeah, to take yourself somewhere, you know, through the portal. Because you could even be drawing something that actually, you know, takes you to a sacred site, takes you to a place, you know. There's many things that, you know, takes you to other galaxies, other parts of this inner earth, into this world that we're in. Not even inner, it's just other dimensions, you know, layers within this earth that we see the reality that we are in, but there is a vastness to it. And then that goes into like another video that I've watched, not finished it yet, but you know, was then started speaking about the shining ones, and I thought, what? I haven't seen anything about them other than what I've learnt from Zahara and some books, because I've got these Pacific oracle decks from the which are the what are they called? I think they're called the Shining Ones, or the She. No, they're called the She deck. So there's some information that I've retrieved from in there, but other than that, there was nothing else out there. So I knew, okay, I'm gonna have to just sit with and have a bit of discovery myself, have a bit of a feel for it. And there's been some information that's really interesting that I was just kind of sitting with, because it's like potentially quite, I don't know, it contradicts things that we learn about today, you know, like about the Anunnaki and stuff like that. Like we fear them, like, and you know, this is even me, I'm like, that word, you know, and sometimes when I speak light language, I thought I sometimes could hear that sound, and I was like, that's a bit scary. Like, I hope I'm not, you know, doing anything or saying anything that could be, you know, these evil people that are controlling. So I was really like, have to sit with that, and but what's been coming through is about the Shining Ones and the teachers, and of course we're going to be made to fear the teachers. We're going to be made to fear the divine aspect of us, of ourself, you know. So I feel like I've said enough actually in English. If you're ready now with me, I'm just going to do a really quick little light language transmission, just to kind of speak of this on a really soul level, okay? We're going to bypass all our analytical mind that kind of gets a little bit blown away by all of this, and we're just going to sit in that sacred space with the Shining Ones, with the teachers, the wisdom holders of this earth. That dimension that they reside in is so sacred and holy and held in divine light. They are at that resonance there, and they are here to support us and be with us, and they are an aspect of us. So if you feel ready and this calls you and you want to sit with me, just connect into your breath. Connect in to yourself. You're welcome to gaze at the code behind me. You're welcome to pause the video and go on the Facebook page and retrieve this code to gaze at, so you can look at it while we connect in with the Shining Ones, the She. We're going to go with them wherever they need to go in your mind. This is your freedom space here. I'm not going to guide you to go anywhere specifically. Your mind or your heart, your soul, the She aspect of yourself is going to be the one guiding you and taking you to where you need to go today. So just connecting into the breath, connecting into that part of yourself, and with love, with gratitude, you can ask to go to a beautiful place in the earth. Be guided there to retrieve that aspect of yourself, retrieve that wisdom and that knowing and remembrance of that time when we walked side by side. Taruna Maria Turukua Ndorukua Bahtaruna Ndoropoto Sutrakiara Ndorobon Baratiaresi Darakon Darakta Dere Doromborokta Borungadate Adatorunosu Barakiara Marunotoromoro Maruturu Aleati Suaye Daria Rura Sia Rua Wherever you are, feel the emanation of pure divine light from within you, expanding out and around. If there are any stones, mounds, noticing, seeing with your own eyes the magnetic field and energy. Feeling that connection of the magnetic field of wherever you are, in your own resonance, in your own magnetic field. Naruto buruku paratiere tete sia ia ai usu nia ro ye ya mo ye nea nuru sua ye na hia maya hia na ye hia na Duru sua ye anarosu Daria kia rukuturukia rakia rakia ukurana Iarano sua Nia yama ye ana Hia su. Start to notice yourself expanding, getting bigger and bigger. From all directions. Nurusurakia rumbara. Nariatia ranasiu kotoromatie. Narna moromosurana. Dea daya iadaru. Diaranda rea dadazu daranda maraya iarana. Iarana rosu kurunyarma iarana. Hialala kuruna maya hiarana suhua. Hia brondo dovora neara kihata, hia runo musua, niara maia nana, hia, 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 hia. Put your hand on your heart. Bring all this energy into the heart. Feeling divine grace and gratitude. Astatakia shikia ruma. Yaranakia shikia kakaya shia. Biaranale iakaru uko ashikia. Shine bright, dear ones. It is time to shine bright. So feel that you can watch this little part again if you need to really come back to the transmission, because sometimes we need layers to kind of peel away some of the old residue to allow more to come in. Each time we listen, we actually receive more, because there's so many infinite amount of information in that one can't just receive necessarily that one time. Perhaps so, that might be all you need, but there is sometimes necessary for those to replay, to understand on another level. It's like, I don't actually want to use the word level, from another perspective. So I hope, my dear ones, that you managed to go somewhere very beautiful. You might still be there, that's okay. And please create your own sacred codes, your own portals, your own crop circles on paper, because that information is all there to take you there. It's within you, and it's just a medium. The paper, the pens, they are mediums, as you know, visuals to use with these eyes to take us up into this eye, okay, to see things. Yeah. Okay, thank you, and I love you. I love you all. Be playful, be joyful, yay.